right. If you're listening to beautiful piano notes on top of some really exciting acoustic guitar rhythms, that can only mean one thing.
It's time for another episode of the Mannschrecks, commentary on Christian life and culture from a pastor's wife and her sidekick.
That's you.
That's me.
All right, so I am your favorite host, Sarah Mannschreck.
And I'm that other one, JJ Mannschreck. So, are you ready to approach the news desk?
I am ready.
Okay, so I have two stories for you, both of which involve enormous amounts of food.
Oh, okay.
And so, do you want the one that has to do with chocolate or the one that has to do with hamburger?
Let's go chocolate first.
Chocolate?
Okay.
All right. This is from Reuters, which, let's talk about the fact that Reuters is covering this story. Two people rescued from a chocolate vat at a Pennsylvania Mars Inc. candy factory.
Are we sure this isn't Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
That's exactly what I was... It's Willy Wonka all over again. So, a couple things. First, this is in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't call Orlando Bloom to come in and help them out. But the firefighters from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, extracted two people from a vat of chocolate after they had fallen in earlier on Thursday. Communications supervisor for Lancaster County said.
Did they get burned?
They fell into a chocolate pat. But here's what's weird to me. It says that the PennLive.com reported that the chocolate in the tank was about waist high at the Mars Inc. factory in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. That the people were unable, they were unhurt, but unable to get out on their own. What I want to know is if it's waist high, why can't they get out? What's wrong? I'm
imagining, for some reason or other, you said vat and then chocolate. For some reason or other, I'm imagining, you remember Star Wars Attack of the Clones where Natalie Portman falls into that big drum thing?
Yes, the big,
and you said that, I'm imagining these people stuck in chocolate and something like that. I have so many questions. Were you on a factory tour or something?
It's like, what is this? I'm just waiting for the Oompa Loompa song to start, right? I understand Augustus Gloop who gets sucked up through the tube and
they didn't follow the rules. So.
But it's a little bit like as if the kid, instead of falling into the chocolate river, fell into the chocolate kiddie pool, right?
Yeah, and then he can't get out.
And yet the firefighters had to extract them from the vat.
Extract, what a good word for
I know.
Food.
And the waste
production.
But that's the whole story, right? It's like a 4-sentence story. That's why I have two of these, because that's it. There were people, they fell into a chocolate vat and firefighters had to pull them out.
Can you imagine how embarrassing? You went to the chocolate factory and you were like, I didn't even get a souvenir, but I did fall into the chocolate vat and the firefighters had to get me out because I couldn't do it. I couldn't get myself out. Wow.
I'm stuck in this chocolate vat that's waist high. And I know that you can drown in 2 inches of water or whatever, but it's a chocolate vat, right?
Is it waist high for chocolate? I don't know.
Well, and I mean, you have to throw it all out, right? Can you imagine that much chocolate?
Oh my gosh, no.
I do love the picture on the thing that drew me to it was a chocolate dipped strawberry. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's what they were doing. They I've got some fresh strawberries from my garden and I just want to reach up over and oh no, I fell into the vat and now I'm two people. Oh, do you think it was
We're just going to leave that pause in there, and we're going to move on to the next story. Because I could see the wheels turning, and we're just going to turn that car right around. Okay, and the next story. Let's talk about hamburgers. Did they fall into a giant hamburger vat?
No, chefs assemble over 600-pound hamburger in Mexico.
A 600-pound hamburger?
600-pound hamburger. A team of chefs, this is June 9th, so it's just last week. A team of chefs at a festival in Mexico cooked up a 629.4 pound hamburger said to be the largest in the country's history. The chefs at the second annual International Hamburger Festival but anyways, they worked together during the event. Here's the crazy part. They cooked a 600-pound burger in 10 minutes.
Oh, no. I hope no one consumed this burger. That sounds like food poisoning.
Yeah, what are you cooking that with?
Yeah, actually, that's what I've always wondered that. They do these kind of things. They do the world's largest cookie, world's largest cupcake, all this stuff. It's how are you cooking these things? And it can't be consumable. That's not food safety. I feel like
Like, did they open up the pit into the fires of, the
Mordor
underworld? And yeah, like, well, yeah, they dropped it into Mordor, and 10 minutes got them to 165. Like,
I mean, I'm sure this burger was medium rare. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot. I can't imagine how much the beef costs for that.
Well, but what I don't understand is, like, 600-pound burger. So, I mean, and actually they have pictures, but it's like, it's a really thick, right? To make it 600 pounds, either you have the biggest, flattest, thing. The burger has to be really, really, like, fat, or it has to be really thick.
Yeah.
And if it's thick, you can't eat it. Like, if it's more than your mouth big, you can't bite that, right? Like, I don't know. And so it says the burger was nearly double the size of a 343.9-pound hamburger created at last year's festival. 343 pounds wasn't big enough, so they had to double that. But here we go. Organizers said this year's burger set a national record for Mexico, but they are making plans for next year's festival to create a burger to beat the Guinness World Record of 2,566 pounds and 9 ounces, which was set in Germany in 2017.
So a burger that was over 1 ton. That's crazy. Well, so I have a huge question here.
Yeah.
Okay, food waste. How? I mean, there are people that have no access to food, and we're making 2,000-pound burgers.
Well, and that didn't get eaten.
No, it
right?
didn't. It's just getting. What are they doing? What are they doing with that burger?
I can't. To me, I like a good hamburger. I even like a double cheeseburger, but at some point it just gets gross.
It's just ridiculous. It's like, how much can we do just for the sake of doing it? And then it's just ridiculous.
Well, and I mean, if they cut it all up and like hundreds of people came in and ate this, hopefully thousands of people come in and eat this, then that's okay. But I think you're right. It's a massive, I get it. It's a big publicity stunt, but that's a massive amount of food waste.
It just seems kind of wasteful. Well, very wasteful, but whew. I have a lot of questions about the way they prepare this. I would not eat whatever it is, however they're making it. They
have these super huge flamethrowers, and they just torch this table-sized burger. I don't know. What on earth could you even do? They actually found a dragon in Mexico. That a dragon literally flew in and burned up. I mean, what else, right?
I don't even know. I have so many questions about this whole process. But...
It takes me longer than 10 minutes to grill my burgers when they're 2 pounds. Like a big burger. You make we used to make those burger bowls.
Yeah, that's true.
A 600-pound burger.
Man, that's
down in Mexico.
That's crazy.
And again, that's the whole story. They're just these little tiny food stories, and I can't.
Wow.
Anyways, all right. So those are quickie stories. All right. So completely shifting gears away from oversized food and chocolate and burgers. Moving over to this story, which is, would you let IKEA name your baby?
Oh, no.
So, interesting factoid. Norway is experiencing an increase in babies born during the pandemic, as many countries are. The IKEA branch in the country has some ideas for baby names. This is June 2nd, Deseret.com. The Swedish furniture company is known for sleek, modern styles that ship flat and you assemble it yourself. It's also known using Swedish names instead of product numbers. Since 1948, they've been doing this, according to the Associated Press. After all these years, IKEA has built up a large catalog of names to pick from. IKEA Norway said in a statement, per the Associated Press. The names on the and they typically come from geographical features, Swedish towns or lakes. For example, if you're looking at a table, the name is Malm, but that doesn't mean table. That means ore or rock. While the number of babies born in the United States, China, and France crashed during the pandemic, the Nordic countries of Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, and Finland have maintained and increased birth rates. And so they are actually suggesting, the Norway branch of IKEA was like, hey, if you need baby names, come check out our catalog and maybe buy our stuff. Right? It's this promotional thing.
The big book of baby names.
By IKEA.
Assemble yourself. Wow.
Although retailers saw both a shortage of raw materials and challenges with delivery times during the COVID-19 pandemic, there is no shortage of children. This isn't the first time fans of IKEA have considered finding baby name inspirations from the store. In 2018, Lucy wrote on Baby Center blog that IKEA might have some ideas for parents who are still deciding their baby names in good housekeeping. All right, don't throw shade.
Yeah, okay.
She says, naming your baby after IKEA furniture might seem ridiculous at first glance, but don't dismiss the idea, she wrote. IKEA is known for charming Scandinavian names that it gives its product, and many work surprisingly well as baby names.
I may disagree with that statement.
You may disagree. So here's my idea.
Okay.
All right. Now, we are from Michigan. We're big Michigan people. We're known for this. You have Michigan tattooed on your arm. Michigan is known for an industry, not furniture, but cars, right? We have a big car. So can we name the next one Wrangler? Can we get away with that? No?
No.
Just no commentary. Just no.
Again, next story, please.
I think this story just has you speechless. It's such a good idea. You just are so in love.
Good was not the word that came to my mind, actually. Whew, boy,
I knew that was going to be fun to watch your face when I told you that.
I feel there's some sort of irony in that, perhaps because I feel like couples who go to IKEA end up in a fight every time.
Yes,
so why would IKEA think that they can come up with the perfect baby name for you when they can't even help you pick out the perfect bed when you're with your significant other?
There are two options. You go to IKEA to break up or to come away with a baby name. Yep, that's their new motto.
That is a whole... That's a whole thing.
Somebody was like, our catalog's full of really cool names. We should use that to sell furniture, right? Like, let's tell people to get baby names from our furniture catalog.
They were like, it's a stretch. We've really not been doing great this last quarter. Let's suggest baby names now.
This is my new daughter, Art Van. They're twins. This one's Lazy Boy.
That's so random. And... I mean, I would love to know who's actually taking IKEA up on that.
I bet if we actually looked, like, it feels ridiculous, but I bet if you actually looked at the thing, you'd be like, oh, actually, that sounds nice. It's a nice name. It's too weird to get it from an IKEA catalog.
And I was looking at page 67 of their summer outdoor collection, and it just came to
sectional
me.
that I was worried would be very difficult to assemble. And there it was, my child's name. What kid is gonna Mom,
tell me about my name. What is the meaning of my name? Well, your dad and I were enjoying a glass of wine over the IKEA catalog.
Over the IKEA catalog.
We were looking at a list of baby names. What was the book of baby names? The IKEA catalog.
We needed some deck furniture, and we were inspired. Man, I thought that was
just
so funny.
Weird, but. Wow. Okay, IKEA, I see you.
All right, so now it is time for another segment. We've done this a couple of times. It's a recurring segment called Twitter Trouble, or Twitter Times. It's Toddler Trouble and Twitter Times.
Twitter Trouble could apply, though. I feel that you've gotten into some Twitter trouble before.
So, first, on Twitter, there is it's kind of like a hashtag. I think there's actually a whole account of this. It's called AITA, and it stands for Am I the... bleep, right? So it's am I the jerk? Am I the jerk? And what people say is they tell stories where they're like, am I the bad guy in this story, right? That's kind of the framework for what it is. This couple, it says, am I the jerk? And I'm censoring that for all those sensitive ears. Am I the jerk for not having catering at my wedding? And it says so it's a 28-year-old woman and her fiance who is 30. They just got married 2 months ago and we had our dream wedding. Everything was perfect. And I mean everything. My parents and his parents helped us pay for a great chunk of the wedding so that we would be debt-free, and we are so eternally grateful for that. The issue arose about a month and a half ago when my aunt started posting on Facebook about how disappointed she was with the whole ordeal, and a few guests sided with her. Which, first off, social media is public, right? Like,
I'm so tired of people passive-aggressively airing their dirty laundry on Facebook. Talk to someone. please just go talk to
someone. Talk to the person, right? So anyway, social media, it's very obvious it could be seen. Or, I mean, maybe they knew that, right? Like, they knew that, oh, she's going to see this.
If you got a bone to pick with someone, go talk to that person.
But it's so much easier to gossip behind their back. I mean, come on.
I know, that would... Yeah.
All right, background. My fiance and I are huge Disney fans, and we travel to Disney World as much as we can throughout the year. Disney is such an important part, not only to us, but also our marriage. Which, okay, all right, there. We're just going to move past that.
Yeah.
The issue with our decision was not to offer catering service / bar service at our wedding due to routing the money towards having a wedding Minnie and Mickey make appearances at our special day. The cost to have both Minnie and Mickey for a good chunk of time, parentheses 30 minutes, was almost exactly what our parents allotted for our catering budget, so we scheduled an appearance during our first dance and our wedding photos, foregoing served food. Parentheses, though there were plenty of facilities at the venue that people could eat, my parents were still very supportive of us, but everyone else is being passive-aggressive about it on Facebook. Am I the jerk? And then they added information to those asking if the guests were warned. We clearly outlined in the invitation that food was available at the venue. We didn't exactly spell out every restaurant's menu, but it was certainly mentioned. There were also vending machines available throughout.
Classy.
Very, right? That's a solid wedding. Edit 2, more info. For everyone that's saying it's too much for 30 minutes, I want to clarify that it was 2 30-minute sessions on different days. $2,750 was the cost for one session.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say this. Whoa, I want to be Mickey and Minnie. They must make bank. I'll make a 30 minutes appearance, but you're going to have to pay me $3,000.
Oh,
what?
It's well, okay, and I should preface, like, we're Disney fans. Like, we have Disney Plus. We've been to Disney World together. I'm not, like, hating on the House of Mouse, but this just baffles me. And what shocks me is that Mom and Dad are willing to shell out $6,000 for catering, and they said, we're gonna take this budget and use it for something else.
That's what I can't wrap my mind around. Why would you have $6,000 there for catering, but you have $6,000 to use towards food for your wedding guests? So their guests are expecting food, and they're sitting there going, oh, well, we're gonna just forego the food, and we're gonna have Minnie and Mickey instead. What?
Ooh, yeah, that just blows my mind.
I don't understand that. I really don't. I find that it's very selfish, but I realize everybody has different views of weddings. Many people are like, it's your day, do what you want for you. And then at the same time, it's like, well, if you were doing what you wanted for you, you would just get married at the JOP and have a party and ignore what everybody else wants. Yeah, but a wedding is the time to celebrate with the people you care about. So you do have to think about other people too.
See, I think that's a shifting cultural dynamic, though. You know, like, I think weddings used to be, well, like the last, like, maybe 20, 30 years, I feel like it's a wedding. It's like you have to put on this massive party and make everyone happy. And usually the wedding couple spends it like super stressed and running around. You barely get to eat your own food and all this stuff. You spend so much time on other people. I feel like the next generation, the kids that are getting married nowadays, they're like, no, we want our party to be our party. We don't care what other people want. And I think that's just, maybe it's sort of like a pendulum swinging kind of thing. Like it was like, weddings were about the couple, and then they swung so far away from that the couple was almost miserable on their wedding day. Yeah, and not even that they're miserable, but that they're entertaining hosts. And now people are like, no, I want my wedding to be fun for me, and I want it to be what I want.
That's valid.
And it's swinging back. I think
this story is ridiculous. I do. As someone who grew up going to Disney World frequently, and I mean, we used to go to Disney World every year or every other year. I can't.
It says here, okay, so in her little clarification, it says, we clearly outlined in the invitation that there was food available at the venue. If I'm a wedding guest reading
I'm seeing that thinking food is provided.
Yeah, there's food available at the venue for purchase.
That's very misleading. If I am a guest, I also assume, oh, the location of the venue is where we will be having food, so there must be food catered. No. No.
And I wonder if like maybe our strong reaction, because I feel like I'm the question. Are you the yes?
Absolutely. You're.
The answer is.
I'm sorry, but
yes.
if you actually have to ask that question and you've gotten enough pushback, it probably is a pretty good indicator. Yes.
Well, and I think AITA as a hashtag, as a thing, it's people looking for justification, right? They did something that's probably selfish, and they're looking for someone to tell them it's okay, right? And
You're fine.
I don't
Don't worry about it.
Well, and the fact that she has
I would also choose Minnie and Mickey over food.
Wrong. I would be so bummed if there was no food or drinks at a wedding. And then so it's like she puts it out there, and then the fact that she put an edit and then parentheses info, and then she put an edit number 2. It's like she's trying so hard to get people on her side. I do feel almost bad because basically the internet voted and we decided, nope,
funny.
This was a bad thing that you did. You should not have paid $3,000 just a basic finance class, unless
Let's talk about wants versus needs. You need to eat food. You want to have Minnie and Mickey there, but
it was 30 minutes on 2 days though. That justifies us paying more than you and I paid for our first car, right? That makes it okay, right? That we paid. It was 2 days that Mickey and Minnie showed up. That makes it okay.
Yeah, because that's what everybody was concerned about, was how many days they were spending with Minnie and Mickey.
$6,000 for 60 minutes with Minnie and Mickey on 2 days. I think, this podcast is officially on the side of the entire rest of the internet in saying, nope, bad idea. Okay,
Just
but
feed your guests.
I will say we are not great judges because you and I, neither of us have ever been on the spend a whole lot of money on a wedding culture.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of big, expensive, lavish things. But that's just not me. I don't think it's worth it to blow a bunch of money on something when that's not the focus of it all.
Well, and maybe that's another piece to that, is that like the big wedding culture, like you're gonna spend tens of thousands of dollars on massive wedding to throw a massive party for other people, right? Like, and to take that much money and to spend it on something that is for you and what you want, that's what feels really uncomfortable to me. Like it's like, I don't, people spend an enormous amount of money, but they throw a party for hundreds of people. That's different than
that's true.
I spend an enormous amount of money to fulfill a personal desire because I really want my picture with Mickey and Minnie.
That is a little weird.
I think that may be where it's like extra weird, because I have some friends who spent a lot of money on their weddings and they were really fun, like they had great catering, they had an open bar, and like it was fun to dance the night away where all the food was free and stuff. But if you replace that with the Mickey and Minnie photo booth,
Yeah.
I don't know. But spending that much money on a personal indulgence is instead of a massive party for friends and family. Yeah, I think we're all agreed.
That's next level.
Next level. All right. So, are you ready for the sponsors of your life?
Oh, am I ready for sponsors?
Yeah, neither of us
is
life? Actually ready. We didn't think of anything.
Yeah, I did not.
That's all right. We have the theme song time to think of it. So, here we go.
For sponsor of my life.
Shoot.
So, as pretty common around here, we often make Target runs, every now and then. We made a Target run the other day, and it was very helpful, for getting birthday gifts for my kids. They both wanted to get birthday gifts for each other, so. Target. I'll say Target because it ends up coming in, handy more than I care to admit.
I do love, like, they went out for that Target run. You took one, and then you came back and took the other, and they're turning 4 and they're turning 6, and they're buying each other birthday gifts, and they have such a hard time with, but I get to keep this, right? Like, I get to open this gift, and it's for me, right? And it's like, no, you're going to give it to your brother.
Trying to cultivate that spirit of generosity and really helping them think outside themselves to understand that we need to think about the interests and, activities of someone that they care about in their family, and then take that information and apply it to what can I buy that person for a birthday gift.
Yeah. Well, and bumming around Target is a really good sponsor.
Also
life,
true.
Though. That's just good times. All right, I have a completely different, like, out of left field sponsor of my life. So I want to celebrate Pixabay.com. For those who don't know, Pixabay is this incredible website. I'm just going to read it right off their website. Stunning free images and royalty-free stock. It's a place to get pictures or sounds or videos or vectors or anything that you want to, like, build your social media or, like, a podcast or a website or whatever you're building. You ever wonder where, like, news articles get those photos?
Oh, stock
you know?
photos, yeah.
If they don't have a photographer out taking pictures, they can get free royalty-free stuff. They give credit to the artist or the creator, and that's where the theme song music for this podcast comes from, is Pixabay. Most of the pictures for my website, thesimpleton.org, like, that's all coming from Pixabay. It is such an amazingly useful resource if you're looking to create any kind of digital content and you want to make sure that you're following, like, copyright laws, and it's all free. And some of them, there is always stuff you can buy. Like, there's the really high quality stuff you can, like, pay for or join, but there's a huge free catalog as well. And then, they recommend, they're like, give a shout out to this artist or to this content creator, and you can, like, tag and give a little credit notice on the bottom, which I love doing. And I think it's such a cool website. It's so handy for anyone who's out there wanting to make content and make things look stunning, because it's really great. And it says over 2.6 million plus high quality stock images, videos, and music shared by our talented community.
Cool.
It's a really cool website. So that's Pixabay, Pixabay.com. Check it out, guys, because it is really cool. I enjoy it a lot. All right, you ready? I'm ready for our game. All right, it's time for another round of playlist puzzles. You may remember, listeners, if you heard the episode a couple times ago, we made up this game where Sarah and I bring to each other lyrics of songs, and we have to guess whether it's a 80s love ballad or some other kind of secular song, or bad 90s CCM, because Christian music sometimes are very vague love songs that we're not sure if they're worshiping God or if they're just writing a love song to a girl and then throwing in some religious stuff. So I'll let you go first. I have a couple.
Okay. All right.
All right.
You want me to offer mine first, or just one at a time?
Yeah, let's go back and forth. Okay. I like that.
All right, so this song, these are some lyrics from this song. It says, I want you to know I need you. I want you to know it's true. There's no way I'd make it without you. That's
the I's make me think it's like Point of Grace or something. Like it's like a... It's like one of those, like, hip hop, like, you take the secular group, like,
I've never heard this song before in my life, but after reading these lyrics, it was like...
I'm guessing 90s contemporary Christian music. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. I mean, that could have been NSYNC, like, that could have been...
I've never heard the song, but now I want to listen to it. It's really bad.
You're sure it's not Britney Spears?
No, positive.
Can you give it to me one more time? No, I'm sorry.
It's called A Friend Like You, and look at it's even you.
A friend like you, the letter U. Oh no,
it's painful.
That is.
But it says I want you to know I need you. I want you to know it's true. There's no way I'd make it without you. And then here you go. Here's the line I didn't read. It's so good to know I've got a friend like you.
Wow, that is
painful.
That's fabulous. Yeah. That is so bad. Although I get a point there, right?
You do.
I guessed it correctly. All right. So if you know this song, it's gonna ruin it. But if you don't, I think it might be actually really tricky. All right, it says, I have found a place where I can hide. It's safe inside your arms of love. Like a child who's held throughout a storm, you keep me warm in your arms of love.
That's 90s CCM.
Isn't it?
It is CCM?
Yeah.
I don't know the song, but the lyrics sound very familiar.
That sounds familiar. I'll read it to you again. I have found a place where I can hide. It's safe inside your arms of love. Like a child who's held throughout a storm, you keep me warm in your arms of love.
The lyrics sound so familiar, but I don't know the song.
It's Amy Grant.
Okay.
Yeah. Arms of Love.
I feel like somewhere in my mom's Astro minivan was a cassette tape of Amy Grant. She used to be a big Amy Grant fan.
I can't handle, like, Why arms of love? Like Jesus is gonna wrap you in his big, burly, muscular carpenter arms. Like, is this the movie Ghost, or are we worshiping?
I mean, God is our Father, so He's wrapping us up in His arms of love.
I don't know. I guess
is this the movie Ghost? You can't reference something you've never seen, JJ.
It's true. I've never even seen the movie.
Never seen the movie
But the
Ghost.
scene is infamous. Oh man, I just thought that was some strange lyrical work. And no shade to Amy Grant. She's like a legend from the early '90s. I mean, yeah. So she was a rock star, but I'm just funny. Questioning her lyrical choices.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, hit me with your best shot.
All right. Okay, Pat Benatar. All right, we're talking about the 80s here. All right, so, okay. I couldn't face my life tomorrow without your hope in my heart. I can't live a day without you, without your loving arms to hold me. You're the heartbeat of all I do. I can't live a day without you.
Oh, it's tugging on my memory. Like, maybe I've heard that song.
You probably have heard this song. Yeah, you probably heard this song.
Well, okay, but let's just recognize that we just used the exact same words as Amy Grant from the 90s Christian song, Arms of Love, right? Like, we just used
That's true, I didn't really
And I'm pretty sure that that's an 80s. I have no idea who it is. I have not even a stretch of the imagination would I guess. But I think it's an 80s love ballad.
It is not.
No?
It's actually a Christian song.
No,
I used to rock out to this when I was
really?
in middle school, yeah.
Who is this?
This is by the band Avalon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it is called Can't Live a Day.
Can't Live a Day. I mean, okay, so it's just that, like, vague, like, yes, that is a wonderful way to think about God, but also you could be talking about that
Reading
cute
these lyrics
boy
kind
in
of makes
chemistry
me
class.
kind of makes me realize, like, there's some problematic stuff in Christian music, like, whew.
Wait, you're just realizing?
No, not just realizing.
Heaven isn't too far away, closer to it every day, no matter what your friends might say.
That's an 80s love song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I could read some more. How I love the way you move and the sparkle in your eyes. There's a color deep inside them, like the blue suburban skies. I don't think it's a band you listen to. I don't know anything about them.
The song is familiar, though.
Yeah, let me get you the chorus here. Where's the chorus? So it's, I don't need to be the king of the world as long as I'm the hero of this little girl. Heaven isn't too far away, closer to it every day, no matter what your friends might say.
I know the song, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it's called Heaven by a band called Warrant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know them at all, but yeah, I think some people listening probably picked up on that one.
Those young noobs over there.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy, that's funny.
All right, you got any more?
I do. Think about it. There must be a higher love, down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, and I'll look inside mine.
Oh, look inside your heart. I feel... see, I was wrong last time I guessed 80s love ballad, but I think it has to be an 80s love ballad because I think theologically you're getting into some weird territory if you're telling God that he has to look inside his
We've already
heart.
decided that clearly some of these CCM songs are just coming from some bad theology, so maybe we need to do an episode on that.
Let's find some good theology and put that back out there. No, I think I'm going to go 80s love ballad because you can't tell God to look inside his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes. Who is that?
It's Higher Love.
Oh. Is that the band or
no,
the song?
No, by Steve Winwood and Will Jennings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was good because it was a little bit of a stretch to find some lyrics in there that weren't overtly.
It's hard. Do the 80s songs have too many references that are like, oh, I can't talk about that? You know?
It's true.
All right, I've got one that might be good.
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, okay, first let me give you the ow, oh, those are the lyrics. It says, oh, Well, love gets me every time. My heart changed my mind. I gold darn gone and done it. That's the recurring refrain is love gets me every time. My heart changed my mind.
I hope that's not a Christian song because we shouldn't be listening to our heart.
Yes.
So this is an 80s song?
It is Shania Twain.
Yeah, man.
Love gets me every time.
Shania.
Oh, man.
Yeah, girl. That's great.
I was like, all right. All right, wait, I do have one more.
Okay.
And I'll even sing it to you, okay? He said to her, I'd like a cheeseburger, and I might like a milkshake as well.
She said to me, I can't give you either.
But he said, isn't this Burger Bell?
She said, yes, it is, but we're closed now.
But we open tomorrow at 10.
My children requested that song yesterday.
Yes.
So I do know that song.
For those of you who are listening and have no idea what's happening right now, that is the classic VeggieTales song, His Cheeseburger. Which is the greatest love song ever written, about a man and his love for his 600 pounds.
Well, he should be visiting Mexico, and he would meet the love of his life.
Oh man! All right, we gotta close this shop up. That's it. Thanks you so much for joining us, everyone. If you appreciate our Goofy Cop podcast, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, leave us a review. We would just really appreciate that.
And thanks so much to Music Town for the use of our theme song. Don't forget to check us out on social media. I think there's a Facebook page, Instagram, and even a Twitter account.
All right, you ready for the mom joke of the week?
I am.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so did you know that the very first French fries weren't actually made in France?
What?
They were actually cooked in Greece.
No! All right, bye, everybody.
All right, see you guys next
Have a good week.